Ask any armchair fighter pilot which aircraft is currently the best fighter, and chances are they will answer the F-22 or F-35. What armchair pilots tend to forget is that yes, these aircraft are the best and brightest, but only for the combat conditions they were designed for. But what if these fighters end up in a combat situation that is not playing to their advantages? Will they be victorious, or will they become, as one German Eurofighter pilot described it, Raptor Salad? The stage is the 2012 Red Flag Alaska exercise held at Elmendorf Air Base in Alaska. For 10 days, U.S. Air Force pilots and Allied pilots will partake in a simulated combat operations. Goal of this exercise is to provide pilots with an as realistic as possible training. During Red Flag, it is not uncommon to see not only Air Force fighters, but also fighters from various NATO partners. And in 2012, 8 Eurofighter Typhoons from the German Air Force participated in the exercise. Part of the Red Flag training is dissimilar combat, where pilots learn to fight against other aircraft types. The goal of such combat is to learn the strength and weaknesses of the own aircraft and learning how to take advantage of the other aircraft's weaknesses. After the Red Flag exercise, the Typhoon pilots, while visiting the Farnborough International Air Show, were heard bragging about their F-22 kills. Or as one Typhoon pilot remarked, "We had a Raptor salad for lunch." If you like this style of videos, you can support the channel by subscribing and leaving a like. I release one long format video and 4 shorts a week. Critics of the F-22 would now proclaim the F-22 is an expensive waste of tax dollars, especially if an inferior Eurofighter can beat it. But these armchair pilots forget 2 things: the design philosophy behind each aircraft and the rules of engagement which dictated how the 2 aircraft could fight each other. Let's start by comparing the 2 fighters. Both F-22 and Eurofighter were designed as air superiority fighters, but follow different design philosophies on how to accomplish that mission. The F-22 Raptor was designed with stealth technology in mind. This is coupled with sensor fusion and advanced avionics to improve the situational awareness of the pilot so that he can focus on combat. The Raptor is designed to spot its target before it can spot him, hence the stealth and data links with other aircraft like the AWACS. If the F-22 gets into a close-quarter dogfight, its thrust vector controls allow it to perform evasive maneuvers. The Eurofighter, on the other hand, benefits from a better thrust-to-weight ratio and a lower wing load. Both Raptor and Eurofighter are powered by 2 jet engines, yet the Raptor only has a thrust-to-weight ratio of 1.18, whereas the Eurofighter has 1.25 thrust-to-weight ratio. The higher this ratio is, the faster a fighter can accelerate. Wing load, or the ratio of aircraft weight to its wing area, also impacts the flight characteristics. With a lower wing load and higher thrust-to-weight ratio, the Eurofighter can make tighter turns without losing speed compared to the F-22. The Eurofighter has also stealth capabilities, but not so outspoken as the F-22. To be honest, towards the Raptors, the deck was stacked against them. First of all, the engagements were within visual range, negating the stealth and sensor fusion of the F-22. Second, the F-22 were flying with external tanks, which they could not drop at the start of the engagement. Normally, fighters will drop their external tanks to get rid of the extra weight and drag. Finally, the Eurofighters were flying without external fuel tanks, but also without any external munitions on the wings. Although Eurofighters sometimes fly without ordnance, in wartime flying unarmed would be highly exceptional. Without external ordnance, the Eurofighters were even more maneuverable. The Eurofighter pilots were honest enough to admit that without external ordnance, the Eurofighter is an animal, and as long as they can stay close to the F-22, there is little for Eurofighter pilot to fear from the Raptor. The thrust vectoring nozzles of the Raptor were, according to the Eurofighter pilots, more a disadvantage than an asset for the Raptor. Sure, the thrust vectoring allowed the Raptor to perform extreme maneuvers, but at the cost of airspeed. And airspeed is essential in a dogfight. Using the nozzles for a maneuver, the Raptor loses airspeed and needs time to regain that airspeed. Time the Eurofighter can use to get on the 6 of the Raptor. With his nozzles, the Raptor could try to outturn the Eurofighter, but the latter will simply go vertical to stay away from the Raptor's nose and to reposition itself for a missile or gunshot. Also, unlike the Raptors, the Eurofighter pilots had helmet-mounted displays, which allowed them to lock on to targets off-bore sight. Another technological advantage the Eurofighters had was their infrared search and track system, which allowed them to spot the F-22 at a distance of 50 kilometers. The purpose of the red flag exercise is for the pilots to learn and improve their skills. The goal of the exercise is not to stroke their ego by showing them how good they are. Under ideal circumstances, the F-22s would use their stealth to fire their AMRAAM missiles at standoff ranges against the Eurofighters. That's the biggest strength of the F-22. It can detect targets and fire its missiles at a distance where its target is not even aware of the F-22's presence. But you don't learn from the fights where you can use all your advantages. You learn from the fights where the odds are stacked against you, and where you lose the fight. That is the hard lesson American pilots learned in the early days of Vietnam, when the rules of engagement prevented them from exploiting their aircraft's strength and forced them to fight under conditions that were not always to their advantage. And although it might seem unfair towards the F-22 pilots, in this occasion on the training battlefield, they might have lost the fight, but could still walk away having learned a valuable lesson. On actual battlefields, such lessons are paid for with blood, lost aircraft, and dead pilots. Thank you for watching. You can find more aviation videos by following these links.